Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Medical drama, Lew-ayers and Lionel-Barrymore in the Story of Dr. Kildare. This goes back to May 25th, 1951. Quite a bit of comedy in this particular episode, as it appears that Dr. Gillespie is getting a new office, whether he wants one or not.
The Story of Dr. Kildare.
Whatsoever house I enter, there will I go for the benefit of the sick. And whatsoever things I see or hear concerning the life of men, I will keep silence thereon, counting such things to be held as sacred trust. I will exercise my art so...
The Story of Dr. Kildare, starring Lew-ayers and Lionel-Barrymore. Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer brought you those famous motion pictures. Now this exciting, heartwarming series is heard on radio. Now, the Story of Dr. Kildare, starring Lew-ayers as Dr. Kildare and Lionel-Barrymore as Dr. Gillespie.
Dr. Kildare, I've called you up to my office on an extremely important and confidential matter. It's about Dr. Gillespie and his office.
Oh, what about them, Dr. Carew?
Dr. Kildare, in Blair General, we have one of the finest, most modern, best equipped, and beautiful hospitals in America.
Oh, and?
There is only one blight on the structural beauty of this building. Dr. Gillespie's office. It resembles the back room of a taxidermy shop. Why, the furniture was antique in President Lincoln's day. For a man of his position to sit in an office as old-fashioned and cluttered up with every conceivable memento and souvenir as his is, well, I just won't tolerate it or humor him anymore.
Well, Dr. Carew, I think if you try to move one stick of furniture in that office, you're going to run into a stone wall. Why, that roll-top desk is as much a part of Dr. Gillespie as his stethoscope.
Dr. Kildare, would a man continue to use an 1880-style stethoscope or a 1900-style operating table just for sentimental reasons? He would not. Now, here. Take a look at these drawings. Dr. Leonard Gillespies' new office.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Carew, are you serious?
Serious? Of course I'm serious. They were drawn by Derek Ollingham, the finest modern architect of our day. As you know, he designed my country home in Connecticut. And if I must say so, it's the showplace of Conway.
Well, I'm afraid Conway, Connecticut and Dr. Gillespie are impressed by different things.
Well, it's not just a matter of design, Doctor. But his present office is actually unsanitary.
That's true.
Yes. And Dr. Gillespie is getting along in years. A new, more convenient office will actually make work easier for him.
Yes, I suppose it would. Well, why did you call me here, Dr. Carew? Break the news to him?
Well, no. The workmen were supposed to come in next weekend, but Ollingham called just an hour ago and said that he was bringing them in at 3 o'clock today.
And you want me to get Dr. Gillespie out of his office?
Oh, he has to get out. And stay out until next Monday, Dr. Kildare.
All right, Dr. Carew, I'll do it. But it's going to take some thinking.
Oh, I have everything planned. Yes. Here are the keys to my Connecticut place. Take Leonard up there for the weekend. I've already arranged for staff doctors to take care of things while you're gone.
Well, now, wait a minute. It's 2:30 now. You say the workmen are coming at 3?
That's right. And so you'll have to move fast. Do anything. Anything you can think of. But get him out of that office and out of the hospital until Monday morning.
Parker, get somebody to run over to Dr. Gillespie's room, throw some of his things in a suitcase, enough for a weekend, and bring them back here right away.
Well, what in the world's
I'll
going
explain
on?
some other time, Parker. This is an emergency.
Oh, yes, Doctor, right away.
Good afternoon, Dr. G.
Oh, good afternoon, Jimmy. Say, isn't this a wonderful day?
Oh, it's too wonderful to stay indoors.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't enjoyed my work in months as much as I have today. Something you wanted?
Well, I sort of felt like taking a few days off and thought you might join me.
Well, Jimmy, it's nice of you to think of me. But I'll save my days off for some other time.
Oh, we could go fishing, you know. Lie around reading detective stories, listening to the radio. I've already arranged it with Dr. Carew. He'll put replacements on for us.
Well, now I can see you've gone to considerable trouble to get away.
And Dr. Carew also let us take his Connecticut home for the weekend.
Oh, really now?
Yes.
Say, I hear that's quite a fancy place.
Oh, yes.
I suppose it's done in Carew's usual bad taste.
Well, there's one way to find out. We could look at it.
Oh, I don't think it'd interest me that much. And stop looking at your watch. You'll wear a hole right through the crystal.
It's 2:50.
What are you catching, a rocket ship?
No, we're going to drive. You ready?
Now, wait a minute. I didn't even say I was going.
Come on, I've had some of your things packed.
Now, Jimmy, let go my arm.
Come on,
I'm not
Dr.
leaving
Gillespie.
here for any vacation. I don't need one.
Here, Dr. Gillespie's things all packed. Now,
Parker.
would you mind telling me
Ah,
what
thanks,
this is all
Parker,
about?
very much. Just keep the door open because we're on our way.
Now, wait, where? Stop pulling me.
Conway, Connecticut, here we come. How do you feel now, Dr. Gillespie?
Relaxed and very happy.
Good.
You know, Jimmy, I have to agree. Maybe it was a good idea that we did get out of the office for a few days.
That's what I was trying to tell you.
You know, while you were driving, I was just thinking about things.
About what in particular?
About my office, mostly. I guess one of the reasons I don't like to leave Blair General, even for a day, is that office.
You, mean you like it the way it is?
Oh, I wouldn't have it any other way. Every piece of furniture, every book, every little memento in that office means something to me. I'd probably kill anybody who tried to change as much as a chair in that office. Look out, Jimmy! You almost ran off the road.
I'm sorry,
Oh, no. Why don't you pull over there and let me drive? You know, you look a little ill.
Here we are. Carew's Connecticut Palace.
Look at the size of that place, will you?
Wait till we put on some lights and get a better look. Come on.
The closer I get to this house, the less I like it. No warmth.
Hey, you'll like it when we get settled down inside and fire in the fireplace, a couple of hot drinks.
This place is so modern, instead of a fireplace, it's probably got an atomic pile.
The light's here somewhere. Ah, there. Isn't this house beautiful inside?
Yeah, beautiful. It looks like Buck Rogers' bathroom. All chrome, and those chairs there made out of burlap and wire.
It's just a matter of getting used to it. Everything in the world's going to look like this in time, you know. It's inevitable.
Well, there is one place that'll hold out. My office. Maybe it'll be known as the last of the comfortable room. Whoa.
Dr. Carew, this is Dr. Kildare. I'm calling from your library in Connecticut.
Oh, yes, I want to thank you, Dr. Kildare. You got Leonard out of the hospital just in time.
Well, Dr. Gillespie's a little suspicious. I hope I won't lose his friendship over this.
Oh, don't worry about that. When he sees his beautiful new office next Monday, he'll be as happy as a kid with a new toy.
Hey, you don't have to whisper, Dr.
Huh? Oh,
I don't think so. He hates your house here.
What?
That's what he said. He hates modern architecture of any kind, and furthermore, he said if anyone ever changed his office, he'd kill him.
Really? Did he say that?
Yes, and I think he means it.
Oh, well, I'm the head of this hospital, and I'm the one to say what the offices are to look like. He'll just have to accept things the way I do them.
And one more thing. He hates your house here so much that he wants to come back to town tomorrow morning.
Oh, good heavens. You can't let him. Why, he'd be right in the middle of the work.
Well, he said he'd walk back if necessary.
Dr. Kildare, you've gotten him that far away, and it's up to you to keep him there until Monday morning.
But, Dr.
I
Carew,
don't care what you do or how you do it, but keep him there.
Well, Dr. Dr. Gillespie, did you enjoy your weekend?
Oh, I did. Wonderful, Jimmy. Wonderful. Those trout were out of this world.
Oh, they were indeed.
But I don't imagine you had a very good time.
Well...
Oh, your car breaking down, losing your billfold and identification, and choking on a fishbone. Why, of all the things that happened to you, well, they're unbelievable.
Well, to tell the truth, they are. But I managed to survive. Well, Dr. Gillespie, here's your office. I think I'll run along to mine.
No. Step in for a minute. Come on. We'll see what's on the calendar this Monday morning.
Oh, good morning, Dr. Gillespie. Welcome back. And Dr. Kildare.
Good morning, Parker. Is that a new desk you have?
It is. Brand spanking new.
What's that?
It's called a supersonic intercommunication relay system and amplifier.
A supersonic. Looks like a ray gun. Just a minute.
Dr. Gillespie, I want you to know I have nothing to do with this whatsoever.
My office. What have they done to my office?
I'll see you later, Parker.
Dr. Kildare, don't you sneak out here now.
Where's my furniture gone? Where's everything that was mine? Boy, this can't be my office.
Well, I'm afraid it is, Dr. Gillespie.
Well, Dr. Kildare. So that's what it was all about.
I'm sorry, Dr. Gillespie. I
Don't
had no
apologize for your scheming. It worked all right, didn't it? You got me out of my office long enough for someone to rip it apart and replace it with something that looks like the inside of a spaceship.
Just that Dr. Carew wanted to modernize the hospital.
Do you realize that in all this world, the only thing I had that was mine was that office? It's where I entered as a young man and grew old. Every inch of wood meant something to me.
Well, Dr. Gillespie, I think once you use it a while, you'll find it 5 times as light and convenient as your old office.
Oh, I will.
Yes, I think so.
Well, let me tell you something. You can pass along to your co-conspirator, Carew. I won't set foot in that chamber of horrors if I live to be 1,000 years old.
We return to the story of Dr. Kildare in just a moment.
May 25th, 1951, the story of Dr. Kildare on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, more of the story of Dr. Kildare, May 25th, 1951.
Now we continue with the story of Dr. Kildare, starring Lew-ayers as Dr. Kildare and Lionel-Barrymore as Dr. Gillespie.
Dr. Gillespie, we want you to just please try out your new office. Won't you do that much?
Yes, Leonard. You can do that much.
Yes, I can do that much.
Splendid.
But I won't.
We thought you would appreciate a new office that would make your work easier and more pleasant.
Yes, we thought you'd appreciate it.
Yeah, you keep out of this, Carew. Jimmy, I never thought the day would come when you'd turn on me.
That's ridiculous. I haven't turned on you, Dr. Gillespie.
You shanghaied me away to that surrealist heaven up in Connecticut while this nincompoop here committed architectural mayhem on my office.
Nincompoop? Now, you
Oh,
see
wait a
here
minute, Dr. Carew, wait a minute. Dr. Gillespie, do you mean to say you're just going to sit here behind this card table in the laboratory and call it an office?
I am not.
Then you will practice from your new office?
I will not. I wouldn't be caught treating a torn cuticle in that shellac stable of electronic nonsense.
But you're so progressive in everything else. I don't understand you, Dr. Gillespie.
Well, it's fairly simple to understand. I've had several offers, and good ones, to attend research laboratories in an advisory capacity. And I'm thinking seriously of accepting one of them. Does that make sense to you?
Is he? Is he really going to leave Blair, Dr. Kildare?
He certainly talked that way this morning, Parker.
Oh. But Dr. Kildare, what would I do without that man?
What would any of us do?
Oh, I don't blame you or Dr. Carew. You were just trying to help him. And that's the thanks you get.
Now, Parker. In spite of the way Dr. Gillespie's been acting, the situation isn't completely hopeless.
Oh, it isn't?
No. I think that secretly Dr. Gillespie's tickled to death with the new phones, the intercom, and automatic filing system. I think he even likes the leather chair and the carpeting. But there was something about that old roll-top desk that we just can't replace.
Well, yes, I guess he did have a feeling.
You know, Parker, if we were to replace that desk without him knowing it, and then somehow get him back into the office, we wouldn't have anything to worry about anymore. Excuse me, Parker. Hello.
Dr. Kildare, this is Dr. Carew.
Oh, did you locate it?
I've been on the phone all afternoon, but I've found it.
Good.
No, bad. The moving people disposed of the desk at a second-hand auctioneer's. It's liable to be sold.
Oh, where? Who? What auctioneer?
A man by the name of Beasley, 52nd Street.
Beasley. I'll go right over.
Spend any amount of money you have to, Dr. Kildare, but get that desk back, or we're going to lose Dr. Gillespie.
And now we come to another item which should prove an invaluable asset in anybody's home. Move it on, boys. This fine, genuine Grand Rapids tomb-style roll-top desk was formerly the prized possession of a famous doctor of our city.
That's it, Parker. That's Dr. Gillespie's desk.
Now, don't you let them sell it to anybody else, Dr. Kildare, please.
All right. Who's going to start the bidding? Do I hear...
I'll buy that desk, Mr. Auctioneer.
Oh, the man in the gray coat. All right, buddy, let me hear your bid.
$50.
Hey! Buddy, you just bought yourself a desk.
Everything's ready, Dr. Kildare. The moving men have put the desk in his office just the way it was before.
It's almost 3 o'clock. He should be coming along any minute.
Oh, the elevator just stopped. That must be him.
Come on, we can slip inside in the lab.
Yes.
Leave the door open a crack.
Here he comes. I hope he likes
Me too. He's going into the office now.
Watch this. He'll be so happy.
He's inside now. Can't miss it. Put it right there where it used to be.
Yes, he'll probably want to be alone with it.
Seems to be looking through it. Wonder what for.
Parker! Parker! If you're through hiding in that laboratory with Dr. Kildare, come out here.
Uh-oh. Something's wrong.
Yes, Dr. Gillespie?
I suppose you and Dr. Kildare brought this old piece of junk back here.
What? Why, we thought you wanted it, Dr. Gillespie. We thought it'd make you change your mind about leaving.
Well, you thought wrong. It hasn't changed my mind one bit.
I thought surely that this desk was the answer to all our problems.
Well, apparently it isn't. Look at this.
What?
This is strange, Dr. Carew. Look at this drawer. It isn't as deep as the others. Why, it has a false bottom.
Why, so it has. Can you take out that false bottom, Dr. Kildare?
Yes. Hand me that letter opener, please.
Surely. Here.
All right. There we are.
Perfume.
Yes, but the drawer's empty. There must have been something in there that Dr. Gillespie valued very highly.
So that's it. It wasn't the desk he was so interested in as what must have been in this drawer.
Uh-oh. Come in.
Dr. Kildare?
I'm Dr. Kildare.
Your nurse said I'd find you down here. Remember me? The auction house. The name is Beasley.
Oh, yes, Mr. Beasley. This is Dr. Carew.
How to do?
Hiya. Doc, I come down to bring you these. Here.
Package of letters?
Yeah. I thought you might be able to get them back to the guy they belong to. Well, that's all, Doctor. See you around.
Oh, what do you know about that?
Let me see those. Why, they're letters from Marley, 3rd, to Dr. Gillespie. This one's dated July 15th, 1913. Dear Leonard, last night when you took me home from the nurses' dance, I could hardly say goodbye at the... I can't read them, Dr. Kildare.
Neither could I, Dr. Carew. What do you say we get them in the hands of the only person who has a right to read them?
Of course. From the way Dr. Gillespie's acted so far, that's not going to be a very simple thing to do.
He has every right to be sensitive. But I think I have an idea that might work.
And the conclusion of the story of Dr. Kildare, along with another episode of the soap opera Claudia coming up in our next half hour. I'm Wyatt Cox. Thank you for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox here on your favorite radio station. But now, these very important messages. Hang on.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily, without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of the story of Dr. Kildare from May 21st, 1951.
Why, these are letters I wrote to Leonard when I was in nurse's school, and he was just an intern.
Yes, he saved them all these years, Molly.
Imagine that old goat.
Molly, Dr. Carew and I have done something very wrong. In moving Dr. Gillespie's desk out of his office, we nearly lost these letters.
It'd serve him right if he lost them. He might try to blackmail me someday.
And he hasn't been angry at us for trying to decorate his office, even for getting rid of the desk. But he's been very upset about losing these letters.
I never thought he'd keep anything like this.
And he still thinks they're lost. I can understand why he complained about everything but the letters. And I can understand why he wants them back.
He was really pretty touchy about everything?
He threatened to leave Blair.
Oh, you don't say.
Now, Molly, I can't put them back, nor can Dr. Carew. But if you were to take them to him, I'm sure that things could be worked out.
Why, I wrote those to him over 40 years ago. I'd feel funny taking them down to him now. I just couldn't do it, Dr. Kildare.
Well, then let me ask you this question. Did Dr. Gillespie ever write any letters to you?
Letters to me? Why, of course he did. You should see what he wrote me the night after he took me to the intern's cotillion, just before he graduated. I've got the letter right here.
Molly, do you mean you've kept his letters all these years?
Well, you see,
Well, Molly?
Oh, give them to me, Dr. Kildare. I'll deliver them right now.
How's it going, Dr. Kildare?
You know as much about it as I do. Molly Bird's been in there with him for a half an hour.
Well, I can't stand the suspense any longer.
I'm just going to have to wait and see what happens.
I, for one, am not going to wait. This new intercommunication system works both ways, you know.
Miss Parker, you wouldn't dare listen in on Dr. Gillespie.
Wouldn't I?
Molly, we did have quite a time, didn't we?
Leonard, I always thought you had the curliest hair of any student in medical college.
Will you let me closer, Miss Parker?
Stop pushing.
I was so mad when I thought they'd lost those letters for me, I nearly quit this place.
Leonard, you didn't.
I did, Molly. That's a fact.
Well, you have them back, Leonard. And don't ever let them out of your sight again.
Oh, no, sir. Never. Molly, I think we should celebrate.
Celebrate what, Leonard?
Well, I have a brand new office. I push a button here, and my reports are all filled out automatically, and I push the button here, and a standby physician will take over my duties while I'm out. Let's have some dinner, huh?
Oh, Leonard, I'd love to.
Well, I guess we've heard enough, haven't we, Dr. Kildare?
I think we've heard just about all we need to hear. Parker?
Yes, Doctor.
Would you please tell Diana Werner I won't be able to meet her for dinner?
Oh?
No, I'm the standby physician, and I have a feeling I'll be working.
Oh, yes, Doctor.
Very good. Very good.
Well, wait a minute. On second thought, Parker, don't tell Diana anything. I think I'll write her a letter.
And now, once again, the story of Dr. Kildare, starring Lew-ayers as Dr. Kildare and Lionel-Barrymore as Dr. Gillespie.
Good morning, Parker. Dr. G, how are you this morning?
He's awful. I just want you to know, Dr. Kildare, that he's been on the phone all morning bragging to his cronies about the new office he had the hospital build him, imagine.
Parker, get out of here before I push one of these buttons on my desk and you go up in a puff of smoke.
All right, I'm leaving.
Well, Dr. G, having fun here in the new office?
You mean I want to tell you that after giving it a fair trial, I really like it.
I thought you would once you got used to it.
There's one thing I like most about it.
Well, what's that?
Well, it seems that in wiring all these electrical devices, they cross some wires or something.
Really? What happens?
Well, when I push this button, see, the green one, the window shades are supposed to go up.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't. Now look what does go up when I push it. See what I
mean? You have just heard the story of Dr. Kildare, starring Lew-ayers and Lionel-Barrymore. This program was written by E. Jack Newman and John Michael Hayes and directed by Joe Bigelow. Original music was composed and conducted by Walter Schumann. Virginia Gregg was heard as Nurse Parker and Ted Osborne as Dr. Carew. Others in the cast included Betty Blythe and Tony Barrett. Dick Joy speaking.
May 25th, 1951, the story of Dr. Kildare on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
It's a big, bold story set in the heartland of America, along the edge of Lonely Mountain. I am open for business. And so Big William Gorgon, played by handsome Michael James, fiercely set down his Midwest roots.
Oh, darling, we're going to sell bathrobes and raise chickens.
Set his adoring wife, Wilhelmina, portrayed by beautiful Glenda Olsen.
Oh, I love our store, Will.
But they hadn't counted on Big Ralph's bathrobes and cattle store coming to town.
Oh, Will, what will we do, Will?
Will had a plan, a way of facing off against tough Big Ralph. We're going to change the face of America. We're going to advertise.
For what?
With print, broadcasting, and bus benches, we're going to tell people who we are and where we are.
What's a bus?
And so the story of how one man brought advertising to the heartland.
Oh, will it work?
It will. Well, my name ain't Will, Wilhelmina. We got to advertise or we'll die. And so the greatest marketing story of all time is here. Advertise or die, dopey.
Put your message on this national advertising platform. Email classicradiotheater@gmail.com. classicradiotheater@gmail.com. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, another episode of the soap opera Claudia. This was originally broadcast on May 25th, 1948.
And now, Claudia.
Do you walk to the office from the train like this every morning, David?
Neither snow, nor rain, nor heat, nor gloom of night stays this courier from the swift completion of his appointed task.
It hasn't snowed or rained or gloomed since we've been living in Eastbrook, dope.
Well, you get the picture.
I do.
Walking to the office and back to the station keeps me in shape.
What shape? For what?
For all of your questions, Mrs. Norton.
That's telling her, David.
Thank you, Mother.
Oh, it's so warm in New York. Sounds so busy, I like it.
No busier than Connecticut sounds.
Well, that's a different busy.
Frankly, I much prefer the sounds of crickets, cows, and roosters to buses, horns, and screeching brakes.
Well, nobody said you had to come to town with us.
I know, but I didn't cherish the idea of being relegated to home, just like another of your pets.
Relegated? Now, there's a nice fancy word.
Bluff, Shakespeare, and Mama. Which do you like best, David? Your dog, your cat, or your mother-in-law?
Me, of course. I'm the biggest.
And the most intelligent.
By a narrow margin.
My, such flattery.
Oh, are you going to drop in and see Aunt Louisa, Mama?
This afternoon, while you're...
While I'm having my hair cut.
I thought you were so proud of the fact that you cut it yourself.
I do, usually.
Oh.
But, this time I just thought I'd have it done.
Uh-huh.
What are you, ah-ing about?
Nothing at all.
Nothing. Then stop trying to look like a wise old owl. Can't I have my hair cut or done if the spirit moves me?
Come on. Why don't you confess to me the reason you insisted on coming to New York today?
No reason, honestly. I just insisted because I wanted to.
Then why create all these elaborate excuses about haircuts?
My excuses aren't elaborate. And they aren't excuses.
Ever since yesterday, when you received that mysterious letter from a mysterious person making you take a mysterious trip to New York, you've acted mysterious.
I have acted mysteriously. How exciting.
How mysterious, you mean?
Mama, is that how I've acted?
I haven't noticed.
Are you in on the big secret, Mother?
What big secret, David?
Oh, you too. Am I really expected to think that nothing is going on?
You are.
In spite of the fact that you spent 40 minutes choosing what dress to wear into town?
40 minutes? That's not so long.
That you squeezed into high heels when you'd be much happier in low ones?
Female vanity, mere female vanity.
Yeah, you don't usually female vanity about being comfortable, thank goodness.
I'm turning over a new leaf, David.
No.
Yes, you'll see.
All right. I won't ask another question.
Good.
If you want to have a secret rendezvous, it's perfectly all right with me.
Fine. Only it isn't a rendezvous. It isn't anything.
You can believe that, David. It isn't anything.
Everybody's in on it except me.
Darling, you trust me. Don't you?
Oh, certainly I trust you.
Good.
Implicitly. But I trust Mama even more.
You can't trust anybody more than implicitly.
You're wasting your breath, Mr. Norton. She just won't tell you.
That's right. I just won't.
Yeah. There's one thing I've learned. My wife can keep a secret.
I suppose you, like all men, think women can't. Well, it just shows you.
It certainly does. It not only shows me, it gives me positive proof that there is a secret and that Mama is an accessory to the crime.
I refuse to be called names.
Well, not to change the subject, because I find talking about me perfectly fascinating. What train are we all catching back to Eastbrook this afternoon?
How about the 4:03,
Can you get through by then?
I should be able to.
That'll be fine. We'll be back in Eastbrook in time for dinner.
Well, here we are. This is where I leave you ladies.
Say, it's not such a long walk from the station to your office, even in high heels.
Goodbye, Mother. See you at 4 o'clock. Have a nice day. But don't forget, I am trusting, mind you, my wife to you.
No, thank you. I don't want responsibility.
Oh, I just love the way you two fight over me.
Now listen, you. Behave.
Yes, you. Sir, I mean.
No unnecessary running around.
No, sir.
And above all, don't miss that train.
Yes, sir. I mean, no, sir. 4 o'clock?
4 o'clock.
Yes.
And we'll meet on the train.
With great pleasure, darling.
Well, I guess we've said everything. Goodbye.
Goodbye. No kiss?
Here in the middle of the street?
Pretend I'm your cousin from Bulgaria. They always kiss on the street in Bulgaria.
They do.
Yes, they always do.
Goodbye, cousin.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Oh, there are times when it's lovely being a Bulgarian.
Now, whatever your secret is, darling, I hope you won't be disappointed.
Oh, David, why are you so nice?
Because I happen to be in love with you. Now, skadoodle. I've got to get upstairs and get to work.
Mom and I are skadoodling this minute. Goodbye.
See you at 4.
Goodbye.
Well, we've delivered David to his office. Where to now?
Oh, Mama, isn't he the most wonderful husband?
How you were ever so lucky as get him, I'll never know.
If I don't ever have anything else in life, I've certainly gotten my share of the good things with David.
And don't you forget it.
Not a chance. Well, now, we better get to a phone booth.
Who are you going to call?
Jim Varney, of course. I'm going to make an appointment with him.
You're really going to go through with it?
Of course I am. It's what I came to New York for.
Well, don't say later I didn't warn you.
Warn me about what?
Claudia, Jim Varney isn't going to give you a job in his summer theater.
Why not? He wrote and asked me if I wanted to come.
But he hasn't seen you since dramatic school.
It's only a year, Mama.
A great deal of water has gone under the bridge this year. In another month, you'll be a mother.
How do I look?
I just told you.
Oh, nonsense. You can tell because you know me. Why, in this blue suit, a stranger couldn't possibly guess.
A blind stranger.
Besides, in another month, I won't be having a baby anymore, so I can go on being an actress.
Go back. You talk as if you'd spent the best years of your life on the boards.
On what boards?
Oh, just an old theatrical expression. It means being on the stage.
How do you happen to know that expression,
There
Mrs.
are
Brown?
lots of things I know that you don't know that I know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here's a drugstore. We'll find a phone booth in it.
Mama, I was right not to tell David, wasn't I?
Well, it's your life,
I mean,
Claudia.
in case the job doesn't come through, then he'll have been saved an awful lot of disappointment.
David married a wife, not an actress, so he won't care.
He won't care if I don't get the job because he won't know. I just hope David won't think I want to be an actress because being his wife isn't enough.
Is it enough?
Maybe if I did act for a while, then I'd realize that being a wife was enough. So far, it's so part-time. I've got so many hours during the day when I'm not anything at all.
In a month, you'll wish you had a few extra hours.
Maybe, but in case I don't. Well, anyway, that's why I'm calling Jim Varney. I'll try and make the appointment for 3 o'clock, Mama. That'll give me time to shop around with you, have lunch, and still meet David on the train.
Mr. Varney will see you now, Mrs. Norton.
Well, it's about time. It must be way past 3.
Just a little after 1:30.
That late? Oh, dear.
Mr. Varney is seeing a great many people these days. He's a very busy man.
Well, which way is his office?
First door on your right. You don't have to knock, just walk in. Jim Varney Productions.
Mr. Varney?
Just shut the door behind you and come in, dear.
Hello, Mr. Varney.
Yes?
I haven't much time left. I've waited so long, and I've a train to catch. So...
You're Miss, let me see now,
I'm Claudia Brown.
Miss Brown?
Well, that's what I was. I'm Mrs. Norton now.
Oh, yes, Miss Norton. Much more suitable considering, considering.
You don't look as if you remembered me. You saw me in a play in dramatic school. Just last year. And I received a letter from you yesterday.
Why, certainly I remember you, my sweet. I just didn't remember you looking the way you do.
Oh, I'm married now.
Well, I gathered as much. It does make a difference.
Did you like me in the play you saw me in?
Well, enough to ask you to drop in to see me about my summer theater in Eastbrook.
Well, that's good. Now, when does the theater open?
4th of July weekend, chick.
See, that's in 6 weeks. That's just about right. Mm-hmm.
Now, you look as if you're going to be pretty busy around the 4th of July.
Oh, we don't entertain much, if that's what you mean.
It's not what I mean, but it's an interesting bit of information.
We live on a farm we just bought.
Cows and chickens and things?
Well, not yet, just a rooster. We bought him to eat, but he has so much character we left him for a pet.
Yes, I've always noticed that roosters with character are apt to be tough anyway. I'd like to meet him someday. The rooster, I mean.
Well, when you're up in Eastbrook, you'll have to come over and visit us. It's a lovely old farm. My husband's an architect, you see.
He built the place?
No, somebody started ahead of him. It was built in 1760.
Yes, that would outdate him
But
some.
the part he built on is every bit as lovely as the old part. So completely in character.
You make it sound charming. I will have to visit you sometime.
Oh, I imagine we'll be seeing lots of each other. You'll be anxious for a home-cooked meal now and then.
Now, how did you know that?
Well, you don't look married. I'm sorry, but I'm in a hurry, Mr. Varney. Do you want me to read something for you, or...
Are you kidding me, honey? I mean, Mrs.
Kidding you? What about?
Well, you're not serious about wanting a job with my summer theater, are you?
Of course I am. Why do you suppose I came all the way to New York to see you?
I can't imagine.
But, Mr. Varney, your letter said that and there's nothing I'd rather
But,
do.
honey, there are so few plays that have parts in them for, prospective mothers.
Oh.
Catch?
Oh, but that's all right, Mr. Varney. I'd rather play ingenues and character parts. I don't believe in typecasting, do you?
Well, I don't either, as a rule, but, well, honey, you wouldn't be very convincing even if you were the greatest actress in America. Well, you just wouldn't be convincing as an ingenue or a maiden aunt or even as a parlor maid. Not just now.
And why not, may I ask?
Because, because you look so married. It's very becoming, but...
But I'm not going to be having a baby forever.
Well, when you stop having one, you come back and see me.
I'll have stopped by the time your theater opens.
I'll come back then, chick.
Oh, men, they can't see past their noses. Can't you imagine what I look like otherwise?
Frankly?
Yes?
No.
Then I came all the way down to New York for nothing. Oh, I could kick myself.
Well, why don't you kick me instead? Hmm?
You? Well, you haven't done anything. I was an idiot to think I had a chance, I guess.
Now, look, honey, you've got a big chance. You've got a farm, a husband you're very much in love with, a baby you're going to adore. So catch that train back to Eastbrook and make the most of a pretty swell marriage.
Oh!
What's the matter, chick?
I missed
Missed
it.
what?
The train. Oh!
Home economists say that housework can be made easier if you take time out once in a while, as people do in offices and factories. And while you're stopping to relax, here's a friendly suggestion. Reach into the refrigerator for ice-cold Coca-Cola and make your pause in the day's work a refreshing one. There's a lot to the theory that you do a better job when you work refreshed.
Oh, Mr. King, have you seen Claudia anywheres?
No, last I saw her, she was at Mr. Varney's office.
Well, she's only got 3 minutes left before the train leaves.
I'm afraid Claudia's not going to be on the 4 o'clock train, Mrs. Brown.
She isn't? David's going to be frantic. He's combing that train like a detective.
Does he know yet what Claudia came into town about?
He hasn't said anything to me about it,
Poor Claudia. She's going to have a lot of explaining to do tomorrow.
especially if the train leaves New York without her. You know how men are when they're kept waiting, and David worries so.
Oh, there it goes. You'd better hurry if you're going to make it.
Oh, dear. I'm not looking forward to tomorrow. My daughter's going to be in quite a spot. Goodbye.
Well, till tomorrow. Goodbye. As I was about to say, every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again tomorrow at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir.
From May 25th, 1948, Claudia here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Please take a moment to thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It is their kindness and courtesy that allows us to come around with you each and every time we're here on your favorite station. And if you miss a day on your favorite station, you do not have to miss a single show. Some of the places you can find us are Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, Amazon, and a whole bunch more. All you have to do is search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite podcast application. That's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Or just through your browser, go to my webpage, classicradio.stream. You can stream the shows on demand. You can also learn more about building a classic radio collection of your own. Find our podcast links there. And you can also contact me there, classicradio.stream. Thank you for tuning in. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.